So look at number 1 for me. I have you do f of x, or sorry, it's f plus g of 0. Okay, so you're going to evaluate these separately first. So you can rewrite that as f of 0 plus g of 0. Okay, and you figure out each of those. So first you would figure out, okay, what is f of 0? Well, f of 0 is, you plug in 0 for x, right? So 3 times 0 minus 4, which is -4. Now do g of 0. G of 0 is 2 times 0 squared, minus 1. So that's 0 minus 1, so -1. Okay, you are doing the operation addition, so now you just take those two values and you add them together. You could add the two functions first and then plug in, but I think that's more work. So that's why we're not doing it that way. So now going back to what we did, it says f of 0 plus g of 0. Sorry, I'm kind of zoomed out. So we're going to do -4 plus -1. So what do we get? -5. Ta-da! Okay, we're going to do one more together, and then I will have you try the last two. This one is of 4, but it's subtraction. So you're doing f of 4, sorry. All right, figure out each of those. So figure out what is f of 4. I'll show my work on this one. I won't show my work much for the rest of today. So you maybe can do this in your head. 3 times 4 minus 4 would be 12 minus 4 is 8. Please also do g of 4. It'd be 2 times 4 squared minus 1. So I think 31. Again, look back at the operation you had at the top. This is subtraction, so you're doing f of 4 minus g of 4. So actually what I need you to do is 8 minus 31, which gets you -23. Okay, we've got a couple more. Let's just talk about what operations these are before I set you off to do them. What operation is number 3? That's multiplication when you have things side by side. So you're going to rewrite number 3 as f of 3, sorry, not 3, f of -2 times g of -2. Okay, so figure out what each of those are and then multiply together. What operation is number 4? Division. Okay, so this is, this one is 3. F of 3 divided by g of 3. All right, so can you please try those last two? Ready, go. I will give you the final answers, but I need you to get there. Okay, so you figure out a value, like do the initial evaluating and then do the operation and see what you get. This is what you should get. Please check it when you think you have it. No, not number 3. Number 4 should be 5/17. Sorry. All right, you are first adding. So remember, this is the same thing as doing f of x plus g of x. All right, f of x you know to be x squared minus 3x. G of x is 4x plus 5. All right, when you were adding, you basically drop the parentheses and just combine like terms. So you do have some like terms here. So you should have then x squared be plus 1x, where you could just put x plus 5. Okay, for the sake of learning, what kind of function is that? It's quadratic. And the domain for a quadratic, we're going to write this down as well. What do you know the domain is when you have a parabola? All real numbers, so it goes from negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay, next. Let's look at number 2. You're doing subtraction this time. So f of x minus g of x. So take those same two equations, but subtract them. Okay, when you are subtracting, not saying you have to do this, but I think it's helpful, you should probably distribute this subtraction sign to both of those and change the signs on the right. That way you remember to actually. So we would have x squared minus 3x minus 4x minus 5. And then you can combine like terms. You do have a couple in the middle. So you get x squared minus 7x minus 5. Again, what kind of function is it? Quadratic. So it looks like this. Parabola. The domain of a quadratic is all real numbers, negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay, drawing another line. Because now we're going to move on to multiplication. This is going to get a little bit more awesome now. Okay, you're doing f of x times g of x. This is when you're going to have to FOIL. Okay, f of x is x squared minus 3x. G of x is 4x plus 5. You can call it double distribution, foiling, whatever. Make sure you've got 4 terms after you multiply. So x squared times 4x, I usually color code it, so that's 4x to the third. X squared times 5 is 5x squared. Now please distribute the negative 3x, so you get negative 12x squared. And negative 3x plus 5 is negative 15x. You have some like terms in the middle, so please combine them and rewrite your function. So 4x to the third minus 7x squared minus 15x. This one we're less familiar with probably. The highest exponent is a 3. What's that called? Cubic. Yeah, this is cubic. So it looks like this, something like that, which means that it does go forever left to right. There's nothing, the main thing you have to look for is division. Division is what causes restrictions in the domain, which we have none. So we have no terms in the bottom. So the domain is still all real numbers because it's a cubic function. It goes forever left to right. Okay, the last one, obviously we're going to have some division, so you're going to see your domain is going to get weird. All right, you're doing f of x divided by g of x. Okay, so you should have, I'm going to write it right here, x squared minus 3x over 4x plus 5. This is a rational, so you could try and factor out the top, which has a GCF of x, but then it would just look like this, x minus 3, which doesn't cancel anything out, so it's not super helpful for you. So that's fine how you have it, like this is it, but you need to figure out the domain. So remember, you look at the denominator, and you think, okay, what would cause this to be undefined and have a 0 in the denominator? What number? You set that equal to 0. 4x plus 5 equals 0. You would subtract 5 and divide by 4. What causes a problem? Negative 5/4. So you say for your domain, because it's a rational, my domain can be anything except for, which one? Negative 5/4, yeah. X can be anything except for negative 5/4, because that would cause it to have a 0 in the denominator. you have addition first, subtraction, multiplication, division. We've done this twice now. Okay, for the first one, we are doing f of 4 plus g of 4, but you are looking at the graph. So you're going to 4. Remember, I'm giving you the x value, and I'm asking you to find the y value. So here's 4. F of 4 is, f is this one. So f of 4 is 1. I'll plot the point this time. So f of 4 is 1, because it's the y value at that point. G of 4 is, what? 6. Then you add them together. So f of 4 plus g of 4 is 7. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Now we're going to do the table, so we're just going to do the addition ones, and then you can do the rest. So again, f of 4 plus g of 4. Figure out each of those. Okay, f of 4 is 14. You see it right here. G of 4 is 6. Add them up. What do you get? 20. Okay. Last one is an equation. So you've got, we've already done some like this. So again, you know you're doing f of 4 plus g of 4. Let's figure out each of those. Plug in 4 for f. It would be 2 times 4 plus 1. So 8 plus 1. 9. G of 4 would be 1/2 times 4, or 0.5 times 4, so 2. Add those together and you should get 11. All right, there are 9 more. So you are going to do subtraction, multiplication, and division. I will put the answers up on the board so you can check them, and I actually think they're right this time. And if you see a mistake, let me know, but I'm pretty sure my first hour caught them all. So try the rest. Ready, go. Okay, so try it yourself and then check it with the board, please. Difference quotient. If you're coming from pre-calc, you've seen this before. If you're coming from algebra 2, then hang on, okay? It's going to be all right. We are finding the slope of the secant line of a function. A secant line is something, a line that connects 2 points. You can see x plus h, that's like the new point, because if I was at x and then I add h, then I'm saying now I'm at a different point that's shifted over a little bit more, and so I'm using x plus h and then f of x plus h, okay? It's weird. You're trying to find the slope of the secant line. This is, hopefully you understand, this is a slope formula written in a different way. So your y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, except instead of using x2 minus x1, I'm just saying the horizontal distance h. So f of x plus h minus f of h, or sorry, f of x over h. We're going to do that now. So make sure you give me your attention, make sure you're paying attention, because it could be confusing if you don't. All right. First, we're just going to write down f of x. That's pretty easy because it's already given to you. F of x, you know, is that function right there. So just jot it down really quick. F of x is 3x squared minus 2x plus 4. Great. Now we're going to do f of x plus h, and this is where it gets really awesome. So instead of putting x, what do you put in place of x? X plus h. So into that equation, that's right there, f of x, you're going to put x plus h. So it is going to be 3 times x plus h squared, minus 2 times x plus h plus 4. Okay, we have to figure out real quick what is x plus h squared. And if you know, so x plus h squared is not x squared plus h squared. If you write that, then I'll be very sad, and you might even kill a puppy, so don't do that. You need to actually write out x plus h times x plus h. If you know, like, special cases like this, and you might know what it is right off the bat. If not, then you need to actually FOIL it out. So I am doing this right here. If you're confused on what in the world I'm doing, I'm trying to figure out what is x plus h squared, okay? So let's go back here. So you're just going to FOIL it out. X times x is x squared. X times h is xh. Okay, repeat. So x times h again. And then h times h gets you h squared. So it's not x squared plus h squared because you have middle terms. So these combine. There are two of them. So the middle term, when you have two of the same binomial, will always be double. So it'll have a 2. So x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. Okay, that goes here. That's what that is what I mean. Okay, so you figured that out. That's great and all, except now you have to actually do the rest of the distribution. So notice that there is a 3 in front, which means I'm going to distribute to that. So instead of just writing what I have up here, x squared plus 2xh plus h squared, I'm going to multiply it by 3 to avoid using a ton of paper. Okay? You could do it in baby steps. So this would become then 3x squared plus 6xh plus 3h squared. Let's zoom out. Okay, you also have some more sets of distribution here. You got to distribute that, -2, into this one. So minus 2x minus 2h plus 4. It really is that awesome. Okay, and that doesn't even simplify it. That's the whole thing. Okay, so now you're going to go use this formula, and we're going to plug in the two things we have. It's going to be one awesomely great fraction. Okay, over h. Okay, here we go. You're going to take f of x plus h first, which you know is this guy, okay? So we're taking him. 3x squared plus 6xh plus 3h squared minus 2x minus 2h plus 4. Wow. And you subtract f of x. So taking the second one here, this guy. So I'll put minus and then put it in parentheses. 3x squared minus 2x plus 4. I did not show all of my I'm trying not to take a ton of space. All right. So now you're going to try and cancel some stuff out. You have subtraction over here, so all of these signs would change if you want to do that real quick. So this would become plus a negative plus a negative. Okay. Because you're subtracting all of those, okay? Okay, so you got some stuff that's going to cancel. You've got 3x squared, and then you've got negative 3x squared. What happens? Cancel. You've got, let's see this one, 2x. You see anything that cancels with that? Negative 2x. Okay, goodbye. And then you've got negative 4 should cancel out the positive 4. So that means that all your subtraction is gone, so it's nice. And you are just left with this, which maybe doesn't feel that much better, but it actually is. 3xh plus 3, oh, I want to write this. 3h squared minus 2h. All over h. All three of those terms have an h. So what will happen? Yeah, you could take out a GCF from the top if you want to do it like that. Yeah, they all divide by h. So you could bring out the h in front and then cancel, or you can just know that like the h's, I'll cancel out one h from each term. So it would become 6x plus 3h minus 2. And that is your final answer, which was awesome.